So I wanted to introduce you quickly to what Criteo has done different and does different as well. Quickly up front to ask you, so this slide, actually, I don't like it very much. I don't know who of you is working in the advertising or marketing industry, e-commerce. So we had lots of speeches about this the past days as well. Criteo is working in the online marketing industry, and this is exactly the landscape and environment there. I don't really understand it properly. This is what's relevant for, actually, you can look at this for the US or for Germany or for Turkey. It more or less looks the same. They're killing me right now. So actually, some of those guys who put it together put Criteo somewhere here, and it's called retargeting. It's quite funny because we wouldn't put ourselves over there. But just imagine an advertiser who wants to reach a certain customer base and client base, how complex that is to get from where they are to actually the audience on the other side. So what Criteo actually does is much more than just being a little dot somewhere there, but is actually a whole range of things, working with the advertiser and actually ending up displaying an ad. So who are we actually? So not very long ago, we used to be a very tiny, shy French startup with two guys from Microsoft who actually thought, hey, we're engineers, so we want to stop just doing internal reportings, etc. So they quit Microsoft and joined together. In 2004, 2005, Frank and Romain. So hardcore engineers, pure math guys as well, wanted to develop an algorithm to come up with product recommendations online. The first idea was to create a website to show users product recommendation, products that they might be interested in. At some point, it was a pure service that they did. Implement something like, from Amazon, product recommendation. You look at products and then you get recommendations around products that you might be interested in as well. That was nice, but I think we wouldn't be here where we are today. It would have been maybe a company of 10 people still. So what has changed? In 2008, actually, we had a pretty good idea of coming up with a product recommendation and putting them into banner ads. So at some point, we also showed the recommendations to users who left a shopping site, went to other websites, read news or their emails, and then showed them specific ads based on their interest. We didn't know whether that was working or not at all, but when we did the first test, we actually were pretty surprised how high the click rates on those ads were and how well performing they were. We got a bit, not arrogant, but like overwhelmed and thought we are the greatest now. So just shortly after, as a small French company, at that point still probably 20 people only, we thought, so now we can do it, we're going to go to the US. So we got pretty hard slammed in our face and said sort of like, go back again, try it again later. And we really experienced how difficult it is, something that is working in one market, in that case in France, to bring it to another very tough market like the US. However, today, US is our biggest market. We learned our lesson. We hired some Americans that can do it differently and what's necessary in that market as well. And we are quite happy about that. Today we're about 800 employees, trending towards 1,000. That's usually my sales pitch, being a salesperson. We are active in around 35 countries and work with more than 3,000 clients already today. So that was a pretty fast ride. When I joined 3 years ago, it was about 40 to 50 people, and now we are almost 1,000 already. A little sidestep, something that's just pretty important, I personally believe, is really everything around the product and what a company does. and what's relevant. So when you look at the tip of this ice mountain above the waterline, that's actually guys like me running around, being on stage, creating some buzz, so sort of the sales guys. But actually that's really relevant is everything that's below the waterline, all the engineers, the technical guys that are actually responsible for the product itself. So Criteo would have not survived or been that successful as we are without a great product. And I just remember my employer before Criteo was someone very different, that was Microsoft. And even there, someone like Steve Ballmer, maybe you know this famous YouTube video, him going crazy on stage and shouting developers, developers, developers. And that's really something that I can fully agree with, and you continuously need to invest in there. So that's why at Criteo, probably 2/3 of our employees are still developers and engineers. And yes, we do have women as well. I heard the question a little earlier. I don't know how many, to be honest, but we do have. So I've seen some.